gentlemen, please provide a warm welcome for your tournament master of ceremonies, Mackenzie Dowell.
Good morning, Wilsonville. How are we feeling today? All right, I'll give you a little more time to wake up. We'll get back to that later and we'll try it again. But welcome to this year's game, Destination Deep Space, presented by the Boeing Company. Are we excited? There we go, that feels better. So this year's game is celebrating the 50-year anniversary of lunar exploration, and it looks to the future of space exploration as teams compete here on planet Primus. So as part of FIRST, you are showing the world what is possible and what we can do when we dream big and work together. Just like FIRST, Boeing does have great aspirations and sorry about that, my mic went out, but it does have great aspirations and just leads in space exploration and so many other aspects. But we have a lot of great teams here today. We have a rookie team, so let's welcome 7448. And just know that you guys are the future. You are the generation that we are going to look to in 50 years and just revel in what you've accomplished. This is all about you guys, and you are all amazing. So before we get to match play, we're going to go ahead and hear from our founder, Dean Kamen, Distinguished Advisor Woody Flowers, and the first president, Dan Bosey. So let's go ahead and take a look at the screens for a video from them.
Welcome to Destination Deep Space, presented by the Boeing Company. It's almost time to blast off.
Working with your partners in deep space, you're going to make this another graciously professional event.
FIRST works due to all of your mentors, teachers, parents, sponsors, suppliers, and our terrific event volunteers, including many FIRST alumni.
They've led the way with their dedication, leadership, and talents. So be sure to thank them all for helping you on this fantastic journey.
You continue to impress with your creative design, your teamwork, and your resolve to help FIRST make this a better world.
So a big thanks from FIRST to you.
You really are out of this world.
Continue to think big while having the hardest fun you'll ever have.
And good luck to all. It's time for Destination
Deep Space.
All right, so let's take Dean, Woody, and Dawn, even though they're not here for putting all of this on. So come on, guys. Yeah. All right, and let's not forget to thank the Boeing Company. They're such a big sponsor and huge part of FIRST and everything that we put on. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to play a video from Boeing, just exemplifying everything, because just like FIRST, they do utilize a lot of teamwork and are on the leading edge of space exploration.
For helping you on this fantastic.
Space is a compelling place. You know, I think about what it's going to take to go to Mars someday. It is going to take a team, right, led by NASA's exploration cadre of astronauts and the vehicle that will take them there. And then I look at the Boeing team that has pulled this together. I look at this team and they are second to none.
I work at Boeing at the Florida Space Coast site, supporting the CST-100 program. I'm a stress analysis engineer, so I ensure that the spacecraft has sufficient structural integrity to take it through its missions.
I am a design engineer, so I help design any of the production or ground support hardware that helps lift, move, or integrate any of the rocket parts together for SLS.
I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm in the design visualization group here. We do high-level modeling and simulations.
I'm building a rocket that's going to go back into space, so that's pretty cool.
There is nothing more important than teamwork in what we do here. It takes the best minds and it takes really good, solid communication.
Probably my favorite part of engineering is the creating, the ability to be working on a project and see it go from just a bunch of drawings on paper or a bunch of models in a computer to, as you can see behind me, an entire spacecraft.
So we're just building the foundation for the generations after us to build better rockets, to get to different planets. Maybe they'll make it to Jupiter or any of the other planets.
You can never learn too much. No matter what you're learning, it's always applicable somewhere.
Working on one of the first commercial crew programs since the retirement of the shuttle is a complete honor and privilege. This is something that we all take a great deal of pride in.
Being part of the team going to Mars, I mean, I get goosebumps every time I think about it.
I've always had a passion for pushing new frontiers in space exploration. Being a part of SLS and of America's space program is a dream come true for me.
All right, so we do have a couple guest speakers today. Our first is the Vice President of Application Engineering and Motion Control at CUI. It is my pleasure to present Jeff Smoot.
Thank you. Wow, it is awesome to see everybody here. This is fantastic. Yeah, I'm a VP of Motion Control and Application Engineering at CUI. We're a local company just up the road in Tualatin. The whole first program is something that the company's really gotten behind. We love everything from down at the Lego Robotics. I coach one of the Lego Robotics teams, and we sponsor that throughout the community. We sponsor Team 1425 here out of Wilsonville High School. Up over here. And then we also provide encoders to the overall program. So hopefully you guys all found and used our encoders that go on the back of maybe some of your motors. If you haven't, maybe look at they might be able to help you out in there. But the program is something that's like I said, very important to CUI. We see a lot of benefits to really growing and developing the engineers and scientists of the future. So I've got a few slides that I quickly threw together here. So most of you have probably seen kind of some of these like memes, like what people don't really know what you do. And so like here's the Oregon one. So I won't read through all those in there. But if you've seen that, that's kind of different people's perspectives on what Oregon actually is. And so when they asked me to speak today, I threw together a couple on what maybe it is for FIRST Robotics. So we can go ahead and go to the next slide. So the first is like, what does media or society think? It was like, they think like what they see, what you guys do in Lego Robotics is what they see in movies. So whether that be Star Wars or iRobot or Terminator or Transformers, but not really a picture of what goes on and all the hard work you guys put in. So the next one is friends. Some of your friends who aren't in the program, all they see is like hard work, and you're like having to do a bunch of like detailed math and really working hard. Your family, they probably don't see you a whole lot when you're working on this, so they just think you're gone because you're putting in so many of the hours. But what FIRST really is so many different things, but definitely that teamwork you get from working with your teams. And the one awesome aspect of this that I see as an employer, I see as a guy that hires engineers and scientists, and hopefully hiring some of you guys here in a couple years, is just those real world learning that you get from the program, that teamwork. I don't know if anybody's designed worked exactly perfect the first time. I know mine never did. So if anybody raised their hand, they were probably lying there. But there's so much learning that goes on from some of those failures, and it was like, oh, that didn't quite work the way I had it drawn out on my screen, or the way I thought of it. So those skills and what you guys have, I know I would have loved to have a program like this when I was in high school. My high school didn't have this, and I may have even predated the program. But it's activities like this and organizations like this that will set that spark for high school students and even below, those engineers, scientists. And it was a program like this that really set me down the path of being an engineer. And so looking forward to just all the great things that each one of you guys are going to do as you go and build from this and become the engineers and the scientists of the future. So good luck to everybody. Was excited to see what I saw here, but excited to see more of the competition. Have fun and good luck. Thank you.
All right. So I would now like to introduce the principal of Wilsonville High School. It is Dan Shoemaker. Okay. We'll hear from Dan later. But we also want to take a moment to thank a lot of our volunteers. So we'll go ahead and start with these crazy kids up here in the blue shirts. These are our judges for the weekend. So they'll be going around and to your pits and kind of talking to you guys to get to know you and your teams. Don't be afraid to talk to them and ask them questions too, because a lot of them come from jobs that you might be interested in applying for in the future. So they can give you a lot of information on that and just get you started. So let's give our judges a round of applause because they have a big task ahead of them this weekend with these teams like you guys. All right. And then the next set of volunteers we want to go ahead and recognize are our referees over there in the corner. They are going to make sure everyone is playing fair by the game rules and with gracious professionalism. And just know that their ruling is final. There aren't going to be any video replays. They're going to do their best and just judge the best that they can based on the calls that they can see. And then we also have our safety advisors here. Safety is a big priority with FIRST. So we want to have fun, be safe, and we're also going to welcome our safety advisor, Eric Sorensen, and Leanne Shao from Underwriter Laboratories. So keep an eye out for those guys in the red shirts. They'll be coming around as well. And while we're on the topic of safety, let's go ahead and congratulate Team 5348 Charger Robotics from Cocoto, Minnesota for their terrific award-winning safety animation that we're going to go ahead and check out right here.
There's always a lot to do before a rocket launch, but safety should always be the #1 priority. Always get plenty of sleep. It's important to stay awake and play it safe. Protect your eyes, hands, and feet with the proper attire. Keep your hair tied back and no loose clothes. Always make sure to secure parts before cutting. In case of emergencies, read up on your team's safety procedures, and always power down the robot before working on it. With all the proper precautions taken and the work done, we're ready to blast off.
All right, and while we're on the topic of safety, just real quick, here at the event, we do want to make sure your team has a safety plan. So coaches and mentors, please communicate with your teams. So in the case of emergency, you know where to meet, you know where the nearest exits are, the fastest evacuation, and then where everything is in case anything were to happen. But we did find Principal Shoemaker, so we're going to go ahead and hear from him now.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and welcome to Wilsonville High School. This is one of our favorite events in the year, and we are so proud to host once again. It's truly a wonderful event. At Wilsonville High School, we like to talk about the 4 A's. As we talk to folks about coming to our school, we talk about athletics and activities. We talk about the arts and academics. And I think what we like the most about robotics is the way it really blends the best of all of those, right? We get truly the camaraderie and that connectedness that you get in strong activities. You get the kind of working hard toward performance that we get in athletics, the practice, the hours, really working toward that level of performance. In our academic programs, we're really looking for this kind of nurturing environment, super supportive people working together. And I would just say about the arts, I was reading a book recently about Leonardo da Vinci, this great Renaissance thinker, scientist, and artist. And it's most definitely been said that he'd be a much poorer scientist were he not the artist that he was. And anybody who comes to a robotic event knows just how much artistic flair there is at these events. It's pretty special. So on behalf of Wilsonville High School, thank you so much for being here. We're really excited to be here, and let the games begin.
All right. So in FIRST, you do learn a lot. Engineering and computer skills, business and interpersonal skills, time management and grit. But educators and companies do recognize that you gain these skills, and they want you. Nearly 200 colleges and universities are making available over $80 million in scholarships, specifically to FIRST participants and alumni as part of the FIRST Scholarship Program. And companies are also interested in hiring you as interns and ultimately employees down the road. You can find out about these opportunities online to help you continue to achieve the mission of FIRST. So let's hear more about the impact of FIRST after high school.
FIRST alumni means that I have an entire world of connections.
It allows me to volunteer and give back to the community.
I think FIRST can really prepare you to solve any number of the world's big problems. The skills that you're going to be learning can completely change the future.
So in FIRST, we do have one award which recognizes individual students. It is the Dean's List Award. So if you have been nominated by your team as a Dean's List Award semifinalist, please stand up. All right. And you beat me to it. We're going to congratulate them, wish them luck on their interviews throughout this weekend. And then we do also want to take a moment to recognize the coaches and mentors of the teams. There we go. They put in a lot of work, they put in a lot of hours, and they don't just spend time working with you guys, but also maybe FIRST Lego League, FIRST Junior Lego League, Tech Challenge. It's not just you guys, it's all over. And we do have here at FIRST another program to get started with FIRST Lego League teams or FIRST Tech Challenge teams. It's called Jumpstart, which helps prepare new teams for their first competitive season by providing up to 4 additional months of coding and robot building practice. So if you look to the screens, there's a little bit more information on that if you're interested. You can help the FIRST community grow by creating these teams and just spreading the word about FIRST Robotics. But the Jumpstart registration is open through April 15th, so we have about another month on that. But again, you guys are what makes First go. You put in all the hours and help these amazing students reach their potential and show them everything they can accomplish. So let's just give the mentors and coaches one more round of applause because they really deserve it. On top of their work hours, they're spending the rest of the time with you. All right. So, before we start the game and get our robots loaded onto Planet Primus, I would like if everyone could take a stand for our national anthem.
Presenting the colors from Troop 194, Cullen Whitaker and Carter Troja. Playing the national anthem from Wilsonville High School, it's Corbin Walton, Bailey Seiler, and Cameron Castillo.
All right, and you guys did just hear another voice there. That is my partner in crime for the weekend, our game announcer, Gary Thayer. Hi, Gary. All right, but let's go ahead and get things rolling. Let's get our robots loaded onto the field and start our matches.